So, you know what I find really strange? That you and I were on the same label, Atlantic Records in America, at the same
Yeah.
time, having big hit records at the exact same time. And I didn't meet you until just a few months ago. Now I'm 69 years old.
But we never toured, so we never met people really, our contemporaries. Out of maybe 9 years, 8, 9 years of a career, we toured 6 months. That was all.
See, that's when you know your records are really big.
Yeah, well, yes. And one thing we'd learned was that everything starts with a song.
Mm-hmm.
So the song is the most important asset in this music industry of ours, I think. And so we concentrated on writing instead of touring.
One of my early professors, one of my early tutors, told me something that changed the course of my life. He said that I'm paraphrasing now, but he just basically said that any hit record is a great composition. And I thought this was strange because I was a composition and theory major. But he said that any hit record was a great composition. And I said to him, how could you say such a thing? And then he told me something that was the most profound thing I ever heard. He says, because it speaks to the souls of a million strangers. And I
Yes.
went, that's right. That's a great composition because even if something is technically great and very interesting and employs everything that you've ever learned about music and you're able to craft it really well, but no one likes it because either they're not intellectually on that level or it's bad timing. So what? But if you come up with something like Dancing Queen and millions of people are into it, sometimes you as a songwriter don't even realize that you've created that thing to talk to the souls of a million strangers. Sometimes we do it instinctively and the people let us know that it's a great composition.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the way that we worked. We never knew. We just wrote away, but we were very, very careful with every part of a song, that every part should be as good as it could be. As good as we could make it at that point. Never neglecting a bridge because we had a good chorus. So we only wrote like 12, 14 songs a year because the rest was 95% was thrown away. We just kept the good stuff. But it must have been the same for you, that you wrote something, but who the hell knows when they've written a hit? Nobody does.
No one does, right.
The most fabulous thing is, for instance, when we did Mamma Mia, the musical, to sit in an audience and see people being happy and moved by something that you've written. I mean, that is the ultimate reward, isn't it?
I remember the first time I saw Mamma Mia, people were just going bananas. Now, I already knew the plot line once the story started to happen. I was raised in movie theaters, right?
Yeah.
So in about 5 or 10 minutes, I said to myself, wait a minute. I know this story. When I was younger, I saw Phil Silvers and these soldiers go back to some place in Italy where blah, 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 where they were the father of the daughter getting, I was like, and my girlfriend is looking at me going, what the hell are you talking about? I said, no, I know this whole story. So I'm watching it. And it was a great adaptation because the story and the plot was really terrific. I remember when I saw the film as a kid, I liked it then. And then with your music, it's a great story. But with your music, taking it to a whole nother level that people can relate to. And I thought to myself, now I understand why this is so big. Everything was right.
Can I try and do the same thing with your catalog?
Knock yourself out.
Has anyone done that? Has anyone looked across your catalog and seeing if there's a story in that?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, right before the pandemic hit, I was working with Andrew Lloyd Webber, and we had a pretty good idea, and we were into it. We couldn't pursue anything, so basically, I got sidetracked and I couldn't stick with it. But I might go back to it. At this point in my life, I'm not so sure because I'm having a good time writing songs with a lot of other people. It's strange when you get to a certain point, you have to figure out, what do you really want to do?
You must be one of the people who are active in the music industry right now who has done the most as a producer, as a writer, whatever. I read that something on Wikipedia about 500 million albums.
It's crazy.
It's totally crazy, isn't it? How did you keep your curiosity and your creativity alive through all these years?
Because I always gravitate towards something new. If it's like right now, I've been approached by 2 different animators that are doing cartoon series, and I said yes to both.
Okay.
So
okay.
in one series, I'm going to be a character, which is going to be hysterical, and in one series, they want me to be the composer. So I said, okay, cool.
You can do that.
I've done big films like Coming to America, and I've done a ton of video games, and this will be fun and interesting to me because I've never scored a television show, and I've never been a cartoon character in a series.
Have you ever been an avatar yet?
Not really.
I was asking you because I want to invite you to the opening night of ABBA Voyage in London on the 26th of May, where you will see ABBAtars.
Oh, cool.
So,
Oh, right. That's right. I've heard about the ABBAtars, if you will. Yes, that's right. I've heard about that.
That's new. That's never been done before. So both Benny and I gravitate towards doing stuff that we've never done before and holding our noses and jumping.
Wow.
That's fun. Yeah.
The great thing about ABBA songs, SOS, is a distress signal, right? I mean,
Yeah, it is.
SOS.
I like to do that. I love that, going against the melody. And also, it works because the 2 ladies together have a very specific kind of jubilant sound. Even when a lyric is sad, something else comes across. And I think it's that happy, sad kind of element that is exotic with ABBA. And it's to do, I think, with Nordic folklore and Nordic folk songs. This thing that you can be happy and sad at the same time.
I mean, SOS makes you feel so happy. I remember when we were at discos and it would come on, you always see people run to the dance floor.
What do you think it is? I mean, I get that question a lot, why we have survived for such a long time. Good songs survive, but ABBA itself, why have we survived, do you think?
I honestly think it's because the songs are so good and they've been ingrained into our souls on such a deep level that it is sort of like the Beatles. You almost think of ABBA as existing all the time, just like we think of the Beatles existing all the time. You think of certain things just existing all the time.
Wow, hearing that coming from you is unbelievable. I mean, I don't understand it myself. How it happened. You say ingrained, but how did that happen? It's a mystery to me.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. Here's what I was told. Somebody told me that the single most important tool when it comes to marketing music is repetition. The fact is that we've heard your music so much that it can't escape us. And here's a simple experiment. You can do this. If you think about the songs that you sang to yourself when you were a child, well, I mean, really young, maybe the first few things you learned in school or whatever. I did this. I was giving a speech in France somewhere, and people were asking me about this. And I said, oh, let me try this on you. And I just said to this room full of people, Chevalier de la table ronde, une femme sur le vent est bon. And everybody started singing it. I said, yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things I meant. I know I have a terrible French accent, but as soon as they heard the melody, everybody started singing it. And I said, that's what it is. It becomes a part of who we are, and we never get rid of it. It doesn't go away. And that's how your music is.